So new studies reveal that being in space destroys red blood cells, causing anemia for reasons we don't understand. Furthermore, the effects appear to be long-lasting. In one test, astronauts who spent time in space were still losing their red blood cells at a 30% higher rate than normal, even after being back on Earth for a year. Considering the emergence on the horizon of space tourism, scientists warn that it may be unhealthy for people with a wide swath of pre-existing conditions to attempt even a short jaunt out of this world. Yeah.
Space might be even more deadly than we thought.
Right. It's like it didn't need to get worse, really.
Right.
Like it all, you had the gravity, you had the bone density loss thing, which is haunting.
Right.
Um,
You got to admit, some part of you romanticizes the idea of like going to space one day and not being able to go home and just have to float amongst the heavens for the rest of your life reading books.
well, now I do.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it, but no, you're right.
Okay, I have. I'm just all like, yeah, I'd be free to be alone and float, you know.
Yeah, I think eventually they kick you off the ISS if you're not doing not a lot of space up there.
Yeah, totally. I'd be like who was the guy who got kicked out of the Brazilian embassy for letting his cats crap all over Assange.
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah.
just Julian Assange
like,
living up in the
right.
ISS.
Yeah.
It's like, Julian, stop letting your cats float around.
Yeah. And they had to take him out like with guys holding each of his limbs. Like, oh my God, that was. I mean, there might have been larger political ramifications to that people find to be very important, but I don't know what they are because that was just so funny. That's all I could think of.
I mean, there were, but you're right. That was amusing.
Well, that is a little depressing, and it's a little terrifying. I brought this up before when the kids were trapped in the Malaysian maybe tunnels. It was like a soccer team. Maybe it was Thailand. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Kids were trapped in some tunnels.
Yeah, there were some kids trapped in some tunnels, and they couldn't get them out. The water level was going up, and they couldn't get them out. And they're trying to figure out how to send a tube in there and bring them out with divers. One of the divers actually died trying to save these kids, and eventually they saved all the kids. So that's good. But
the story had a happy ending.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this guy wouldn't want to die in vain, you know. But I remember thinking at the time, our technology is not nearly as good as I thought it was.
Right.
We weren't able to just go into this mountain and get these kids out.
Yeah.
And it becomes a little terrifying that when they go out into space, there is something that is destroying your, bone density, I get it. You're not using them.
Right. It's gravity.
But destroying your red blood cells, that's like science that I would have thought maybe we would have had to know what it is by now, but we don't.
Yeah, so it's a weird thing. What happens is you go into space and your fluid levels drop a lot for reasons that we do understand, but I forget what they were because it's very complicated. You get back on Earth, your fluid levels go back up, but your red blood cells don't. Your red blood cell level sort of stays constant and bad, which causes anemia.
Is it like the slow bends?
I don't know, but I imagine
they should call it that, though. It sounds good.
I imagine it's something we don't totally understand about, like how people work just in general, and then we put people in space and evolution is like, what are you doing? This is not where that monkey goes.
Right. That's a good band name, just to bring it back around.
This is not where that monkey goes. Yeah, or at least an album name.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for the news there.
Yeah, that's it for the news.
I gotta say, I'm like all stuffed up, and I think it's allergies. I hate this COVID situation because every time anybody is sick around my house, we're all like, maybe we have COVID. Maybe this is happening. And I'm tired of asking myself, maybe.
Yeah.
It's been in the news that the government is telling you not to go get COVID on purpose, like you would with chickenpox. But I have to admit, it's crossed my mind just to rip the Band-Aid off. I've thought about going and just licking doorknobs and just getting this over with.
You can get COVID multiple times, though.
Yeah, but then I'll know. And now I'm not like part of the club.
Yeah.
There was already so many clubs. This is probably
COVID club.
not politically correct, but I gotta say, as a middle-aged white cisgender man, I am excluded from a lot of clubs. And now I don't even have COVID. It's very alone out here, Kara. This
is a weird set of emotional pressures, and I feel as though I'm not prepared to touch any of this.
Yeah. I don't have that education level, All right, I'm breaking down, man. All right. You're listening to Radio Wasteland. Come on back.